We'll strike if you make it too easy to get an appointment, say GPs. When the doctor has to doctor. Family doctors fear government plans to improve online booking systems will overwhelm practices. Why are the practices overwhelmed? Why aren't they being funded enough? Because this is the thing is, everybody remembers COVID. Everyone remembers that it was already pretty difficult to get a doctor's appointment before COVID. And then ever since COVID, doctors just became these ethereal beings. Like, are they real? When was the last time you even saw one? And they're still saying that they're overwhelmed. I wonder why they're being overwhelmed. Are there more people or something? But anyway, GPs are threatening to strike if the NHS makes it too easy for patients to get an appointment. But usually it's like a schedule, right? You know, if there's no appointment there, then you just don't get an appointment. Like, oh, we've got a slot at 3 o'clock on Tuesday, then you take that one. The doctors can't be in multiple places at once. They have a schedule with which to take their appointments. Right, so you can't like double book or anything like that. A doctor can only take so many appointments in a certain period of time. So I don't understand what the problem is here. I'm going to be overwhelmed. Oh, you're going to have to work your whole shift. Oh my god, how awful. How awful, man. I mean, you know, that six-figure salary doesn't come for fucking free. But anyway, the British Medical Association has said it will take industrial action if the government goes ahead with plans to improve access to online booking systems. Patients group said that the union's position was lazy and would make life harder for patients. I think doctors loved it during COVID because they're like, oh my god, I'm just turning up and getting paid for nothing. Let's just like keep this going because it is fucking impossible to get an appointment with your doctor. Impossible. I will save it all for the end. Wes Streeting, the health secretary, said that he would not stand for progress being held back, saying it was absurd to be able to book a hairdresser appointment online, but not for a GP. The NHS has drawn up plans which should mean that from October the 1st, every GP practice allows patients to use online systems to request an appointment. It follows widespread criticism over the difficulty of booking appointments, and that's something, in fact, I'm not saving this for the fucking end. They give you like an hour or half hour window very, very early in the morning. There's some places that say, oh, if you want an appointment, you have to call between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, or 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock, or 9 o'clock until 9:30 when most people are in fucking work and they can't do it, right? That has been the case all over the place, and it's been since COVID. And you don't even get to talk to a doctor. You have to, like, in fact, if you're lucky enough to get through, because you'll have to keep phoning and keep, you are number 12 in the queue. And then if you're still like 12 in the queue when it passes like the half hour mark or the hour mark when the line's closed, boom, that's it, you don't get an appointment. Right? Or they'll just say, or they'll just get the engaged tone and you keep having to hang up, dial back, and you've got everybody fucking doing that trying to get an appointment and nobody gets through. And the receptionist is just sitting there like, and on the very rare occasion you do get through, you don't get to speak to a doctor, you get to speak to a receptionist. Now, bear in mind, this is a receptionist. She probably doesn't have any degree of any kind. That's why she's a receptionist, right? And then you have to explain to this fucking receptionist with no medical expertise whatsoever what is wrong with you, and then she gets to decide if that is serious enough to warrant an appointment. And the appointment you get will probably be about 3-4 weeks from now. By that point, the tumour's too big and you're probably dead, right? That's the problem that a lot of people are having with booking the appointments, right? So I think an online system showing you what slots are free would be a very good thing. Oh, how are we going to stop people from blocking up all the appointments? That's fine. See all the patients that you've got registered, they have an identification number, use that. Use that. All patients have an ID number with their GPs. Use that as their login. How do we know you're a real person? Here's my ID, here's my address, blah, blah, blah. Fill it out, book the appointment. And to stop people abusing it, you get one appointment per ID. System's fixed, there you are. But the GPs just don't want to fucking work. Practices should still allow patients to book slots using the phone or by turning up in person. I mean, yeah, obviously. Loads of oldies still do that. But the BMA says that the moves are being introduced without sufficient safeguards to stop practices being overwhelmed by patients. Create a rota. Create a rota. And the rotas are things that I know that you do have. Like, I have an appointment at 3 o'clock. So I won't book anybody else in at 3 o'clock. There you are. Manage your day. Set appointment slots. Show what slots are available. One person per appointment. There you are. You can't see two patients at once. I don't want to sit in a room with other people telling everybody the shit that's wrong with my balls. Right, I have an Indian doctor. She's had to touch my balls many, many, many times. Long story. Oh, that poor woman. But still, right, you're not going to get overwhelmed. Just create a fucking rota, online portal. There you are. Oh, 3 o'clock's taken. Sorry. Go to 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or the next fucking day or something like that. We're going to be overwhelmed. What were you doing before? What were you doing before? Like, some people haven't seen a GP in like over 2 fucking years because of COVID. Right, maybe if you actually did some fucking work and didn't have this huge backlog of people who probably have cancer and they're probably going to die because you're fucking lazy, like, maybe if you hadn't have done that, you wouldn't be overwhelmed. Or just create a fucking rota. These are all excuses. For doctors, they're not that smart. These excuses aren't even believable. Extra hurdles for patients. Dennis Reed from patients group Silver Voices said, "This is crazy. They are complaining about moves that would make life easier for patients. It sounds like they want to deter patients by making it more difficult for them and putting extra hurdles in the way." Yes, that is exactly what they're doing and have been doing that for a very long time. Doctors, GPs, are some of the laziest people that you will know. Right, they are so fucking lazy. How many times have you had to visit a doctor before you finally got the actual diagnosis of what was wrong with you? For me, the record's 5. 5 visits I had to go back over the course of a fucking year. This was years and years ago, mind you. This was years and years ago before I finally had to go and get a scan for something. Funnily enough, the scan didn't actually show anything, which ruled something out, so I get diagnosed with. I've got ocular migraines. I go blind in one eye sometimes, and I have a migraine that lasts for like 2 days, and I'm vomiting constantly, and I become delirious and everything. See how your standard migraines that you get? I have them on steroids. I've been hospitalised with them before and everything as well. It's not fun. It's not fun not being able to see out one of your eyes for 2 days. It sucks. But yeah, that took 5 visits. For that, 5 visits and then a fucking brain scan for me to get diagnosed with that. Whereas when I went to my private doctor, he knew what it was fucking right away. I know. They need to make it as easy as possible for those who can book online, rather than making everyone phone or go to the reception to make an appointment. I think people will see this as lazy. This dispute will make it harder for patients when it's hard enough already. GPs carried out industrial action last year over claims practices were underfunded. Well, you're not seeing any patients, so what expenses do you fucking have? Work to rule measures included capping the number of appointments at 25 per day. Is that like per doctor or like per clinic? Because if it's 25 per day per clinic, then that is fucking abysmal. That is bullshit. The BMA has yet to decide what a new dispute with the government could involve. From October the 1st, GP surgeries in England will be required to keep their online bookings tool open for patients to make non-urgent appointment requests from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. Good. That's great. What slots are available? I'm free. Bush, bang, there you go. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. You can go on and book your own appointment. The national commitment was announced by the Department of Health and Social Care and the NHS England in February as part of the new GP contract for 2025 to 26 in a bid to end the 8 a.m. scramble for appointments on the phone. Because yes, everyone complains about that. Everybody fucking hates it. It's literally killing people. Because people are not able to get through on the phone lines and they're trying day after day, week after week, and by then whatever's wrong with them has gotten so serious that they require emergency surgery that they might not survive, or the tumour's got too big, or something's happened. Basically, whenever it comes to serious medical health issues, time is everything. Time is everything. Days matter. Minutes matter sometimes, but if it's minutes, then you should be phoning 999, not the GP. But you know what I mean. Like, the way that they're doing it right now because they're too lazy is actually killing people. Right, so end the 8 a.m. rush for the fucking phone. At the time, officials said safeguards would be put in place to avoid urgent clinical requests being erroneously submitted online. However, the BMA said this had not been put in place, nor had extra staff been hired to manage what it predicted to be a barrage of online requests. The union said current systems are unable to distinguish between non-urgent and urgent patient queries, and said the volume of incoming requests without extra staff to review them could mean high-risk cases are missed. Most GP practices already offer, well, basically just do the little appointment. If it's not that serious, just go, oh, you're fine, out you go, carry on with the next appointment. Most GP practices already offer some online booking, but access is variable, with variation in the way they phrase warnings to seek immediate help in urgent situations. Dr. Katie Bramall, the chairman of the BMA GP committee, said, the Secretary of State knows that when these changes come into effect, it will likely lead to the creation of hospital-style waiting lists in general practice, reduce face-to-face GP appointments, as we'll be triaging a barrage of online requests, consequently putting patients at risk of harm as we try to find the urgent cases among the huge pile of unmet patient need that is out there. Maybe hire someone to review them, not the fucking receptionist. Maybe have a little thing where, what are your symptoms? Basically, they do this whenever you, the Yanks won't know about this. But see, over here we have something called NHS 24, which is basically like a doctor helpline kind of, where you phone up and say, hi there, I'm not sure if I should book in with a GP or if this is serious. It's a sort of a, I'm not sure, or can I have a little bit of guidance of how to deal with this issue. We used to have to phone it a lot because basically where Morag kept breaking out in rashes all the time, and we were sitting, I immediately did the cold glass trick. And they vanished, so that was a huge weight off my mind. But basically, we were like, what could be causing it? What's this? And they advise you, oh, get this cream, get this, make sure there's not an allergy to this, try a little bit of Piriton. Basically, they give you like medical guidance, right? But what they do whenever you phone them for any kind of serious thing is they go through, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you ever get a tightness in your chest? You know, can you clench just fine? Can you smile just fine? Is your smile symmetrical? They ask you like the serious things. Well, basically, if you answer yes to any of these, then that's an indicator of something pretty bad. So if you answer yes to any of them, then that is a serious case and you let it go through. They do it on NHS 24. I don't know why they can't do it on the portal. I don't know why they can't do that. Mr. Streeting needs to listen to us. And also, the people you're saying that to decide urgent cases or not is not a doctor, it's the receptionist. It's the receptionist. She is not a medical professional. She's a receptionist. Those are the people that you're currently using to decide whether appointments are urgent or not. But anyway, Mr. Streeting needs to listen to us and understand how we believe GPs can deliver his ambitions safely. Well, you've had a few years since COVID and you've not made any effort to do that whatsoever. General practice is the leader in NHS tech innovation. We do everything online, from systems to prescriptions, referrals, and appointments. We're not resistant to change, but we will be when you were fucking pretty quick when you got to shut down during COVID. When the safety of patients and practice staff is at risk. How the practice staff safety at risk? What, they're at risk from doing actual appointments. The government has 48 hours to change course, avoid this dispute, and keep to their promises. Mr. Streeton said, it is absurd that in 2025 many patients can't request appointments online. If you can book a hair appointment online, you should be able to book an NHS appointment too. Many GPs are already offering this service, and now it will be provided to patients across the country. This move, which the BMA agreed to, will support GPs to care for their patients who need non-urgent care. We have agreed clear safeguards where patients will be directed to phone up or attend in person for urgent appointments. The BMA knows this, so they've actually already had this told to them. He said the government had invested record sums into general practice and hired 2,000 extra GPs. Mr. Streeting said, this government will always put the interests of patients first, and we will not stand for our NHS being held back in the analogue age. It comes as research shows rising levels of complaints from the public about poor access to GP appointments. Rising levels is putting it mildly. Everyone is complaining about it. Everyone. It's went nuclear because it's fucking killing people. A survey of more than 2,000 GPs by Kagora, publisher of Pulse magazine, found 70% of practice staff say that complaints about access have increased since the pandemic. Because a lot of the GPs are still under pandemic rules where they're doing everything they can to prevent people from coming down. Well, they just sit in their offices and twiddle their thumbs. Almost half of GPs said that giving patients continuity of care was their biggest priority, while less than 1/3 said that waiting times for appointments was at the top of their list. And this is the thing that's funny, is a lot of them are doing everything they can to avoid giving people appointments, and the doctors are saying, oh, we're going to go on strike. You're already not doing anything.